talks about self-love and having a deep respect for your own greatness within. I mean, I think that's important for a lot of women because I think, well, from my own experience and from my friends, women feel like it's selfish when they take time for themselves and to work on themselves because we're supposed to be taking care of our children and our families and the house and all of that kind of stuff. Because when I first came on the path, even my own father was saying, wow, you're really selfish because you're doing all this stuff, you know, and I'm like, I still have to, but I held on to what I knew inside and I did it anyway. But I think it gives like permission, I guess, for people, for women especially, to know that, because he talks somewhere in here about it not being a selfish thing. Yeah. And I think that's really important because, you know, that's the whole, like the whole teaching is about, it is about self-realization and really recognizing ourselves as children of God and really loving ourselves and not feeling ashamed about that. But I think as women, we're kind of raised to be caretakers, and so that's kind of like a, you know, I used to buy into that with what my father was telling me because I try to, you know, I try to go to the gym and make sure I take care of my body and try to, you know, go get outside help or whatever, or try to just take some quiet time for myself after work. And he would say, you know, you told me I was really selfish. Wow. But I can't just keep giving to all of it because if I keep giving to everybody and I'm not taking care of myself, then I'm getting really resentful and I'm getting really angry because nobody's taking care of me because I'm giving and, you know, the husband doesn't really appreciate, you know, it's like you don't even know what I'm doing as the woman in the family because not only do I work and I take care of the children, but I dress everybody and I'm the interior designer and I design all the menus and I also do all the cooking and I decide what, you know, color the house is going to be painted. And I mean, we have a lot of roles as women that aren't recognized by, you know, it's no offense, but by the men. You know, there's so many things that we have to do. And
that's beautiful. I never saw it from that perspective.
And I bought into that. I used to feel guilty about taking time for myself. That's what I love so much about my life now, because it's like, you know, my kids are older and I get to go back to school and I started doing yoga and I'm experimenting and trying all these things and it's really fun because no one's telling me, no, don't do this, or, you know, oh, you're being a bad mom because you're not paying attention to your kids and all this stuff. It's like, but this chapter really talked about that because he said it's not a selfish thing for you. And I think that's really important to us, learning how to make ourselves whole.
Yeah, and love ourselves. To have the wholeness in a relationship, you have to have love for yourself, right? You have to, otherwise, if you can't love you, who can you love, right? So how can you be prepared to put out all that energy if you first don't know how to really build it up within yourself? And there's a lot to it there. So yeah, I think there's more to be shared on that note.
Because that's not something, we're not just talking about, you know, people's romantic relationships, but relationships with parents and, you know, teachers and siblings, friends.
And it's ingrained.
Yeah.
In our society. I mean, your father, the older generations, and it's like, oh, that's selfish. Oh, you know, you should. And then women, we end up feeling guilty for taking care of ourselves, and we shouldn't. We should, you know, honor that.
Did anybody else pick that?